So after dealing with a bunch of streaming issues, buffering, terrible menus, and shows disappearing without warning, I really started thinking about going back to something more stable. And that's what got me looking into satellite TV again. Now, the two main options these days are Dish Network and DIRECTV. And on paper, they do seem pretty similar, but after testing both, the day-to-day experience ended up being pretty different. DIRECTV leans more traditional, with a great sports lineup, but Dish felt more modern, easy to use, and a lot more consistent overall. And in the end, that's the one that I stuck with. Now, before we get into how each actually perform, let's look at how they're set up and what kind of experience they're really aiming to give you. Dish feels like it was built for people who just want their TV to work. Everything is straightforward. The system runs smoothly. You're not constantly have to figure things out. From the interface to the DVR, it's simple and polished. And having the price locked in for 2 years is a huge plus, especially if you're coming from streaming services that just keep raising rates. It's also a great fit if you're tired of trying to remember which platform has the show you want that night. With Dish, it's all just there, ready to go. DIRECTV is still doing what it's always done. There's a satellite version and an internet version, but either way, the whole setup just feels a little bit older. It's not bad by any means, but the menus are slower, the layout can take a little bit of getting used to, and it doesn't feel as refined. Now, the one area where it still absolutely stands out is sports. If that's a big part of what you watch, DIRECTV is still one of the better ways to get live games and premium sports channels all in one place. Now, I figured with satellite TV, it'd be tough to set up, but Dish was actually pretty smooth. I chose the package I wanted, scheduled the install, and a tech came out to get it all put together. The dish got mounted, everything was wired up, and once it was on, it just worked. Channel changes were fast, the DVR was easy to use, I didn't have to mess with anything to get it right. You also get built-in on-demand content and a mobile app that lets you stream live TV or recordings when you're not home. I didn't have to toggle any settings or activate features, it was all ready from day one. And what's nice is it feels like one system, not a bunch of features stuck together. DIRECTV's setup follows much the same steps, but once it was set up, it didn't feel quite as smooth. The interface was slower and navigating around took a bit more effort. I also tested the internet version, which skips the dish, but still runs through a receiver. And while it worked, the quality really depended on how solid my Wi-Fi was, and that's a whole other issue. So while both got the job done, Dish was faster to get used to and felt more put together overall. So when it comes to pricing, Dish is really simple.
There are 4 main packages, starting with America's Top 120 at $96.99 a month.
From there, you can move up to 120 plus, 200, or 250, each step adding more channels, including things like regional sports or movie networks, depending on the tier.
Even the top plan, America's Top 250, stays under $125, which is pretty reasonable for the amount of content you're getting.
And the real benefit here is the 2-year price guarantee. Whichever plan you choose, that monthly rate stays locked in. There's no increase after the first year, no separate fees for equipment. The hopper, DVR, and receiver are included. So what you're quoted up front is what you'll actually pay month after month.
And DIRECTV starts off lower with the entertainment package starting at $79.99 a month, but that's just a $35 off first month promotion.
Once it ends, the price increases. And by the time you factor in things like equipment rental, regional sports fees, add-ons, it's not unusual to end up paying over $100 even on the basic tiers. The higher tier plans like Choice and Ultimate do offer more content, but it gets expensive fast. And after that first year, I had to reach out to support just to understand where the extra charges were coming from, because I had zero clue just looking at the bill. So while both services cover a wide range of content, Dish makes it easier to understand what I was getting and how much I was paying. And if Dish sounds interesting to you and you want to give them a try, we've got some affiliate links down in the description. And for most of the products we talk about, we can get you some special deals that aren't available if you go straight to their website. Now, the best part about using Dish is that it's just reliable. The signal held up even during some rough storms. Everything responded quickly, and it didn't feel like I had to relearn anything once I was already set up. The DVR is simple, and there are a few extra features that actually make life better. Auto hop, for example, skips past commercials on certain recordings without you doing anything. So if you're watching a show later that night, you don't need to keep fast forwarding or trying to guess where the break ends. And multi-view is a nice option if you're flipping between channels during commercial breaks or keeping tabs on a game or 3 while watching something else. The only place Dish could do better is in customer support. It is a little bit hit or miss. Most of the time it is fine, but I did have a couple of times where it took a bit longer than I would want to get a clear answer. And I've also seen a few billing miscommunications come up, but nothing that was ever really a deal breaker. Now, DIRECTV still has amazing sports coverage, and that really is where it shines. But beyond that, the interface felt dated, and once the promo ended, it was really not easy to tell what was changing or why. And the internet version also seemed to slow down depending on the time of day, which just made it feel less consistent overall. So in terms of everyday use, Dish is just smoother and more dependable. Look, both services have their strengths. The the decision really comes down to what matters most to you. DIRECTV is still a great choice if you care a lot about live sports, because that really is where it puts most of its focus. But if you're looking for something simple, steady, and easy to live with, Dish just makes more sense. It's reliable, the price doesn't change, and everything from the setup to the features felt like it was designed to get out of the way. For me, what made the difference was that I didn't have to think about it. I turned on the TV and it just worked. And that's really all I was looking for. If that sounds like it'd be your style, I've included the Dish link down in the description. And again, those usually include any current promos or package deals that you won't see on their main site, so feel free to check them out if you're comparing them. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. If this breakdown was helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment if you got any questions. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.